FromSoft's second attempt at creating a duo boss fight, and for some reason they chose the same type of creature, the Gargoyles. There are a couple parallels between this fight and the Demon's Souls boss Man-Eaters. If you haven't watched their episodes, now is the good time to do so. The Bell Gargoyles are mandatory as you need to defeat them to get access to the Bell of Awakening. So again, a guardian boss that serves as a challenge that tests your skills. And what a challenge it is. It is probably the first real challenge of the Dark Souls 1. But before we talk about this boss design, first a few words about the arena. It is another very naturalistic arena. Similar to the Taurus Demon's Bridge, this rooftop is, well, it is a rooftop. It has slopes, nothing too steep, but they are far from being flat. Well, I'll admit, it's a bit weird design decision to build a bell tower that can be accessed only by the rooftop. Maybe in the past there was another way in. Yes, you can fall off this roof. Sadly, this time boss cannot be cheesed by throwing it off like you could do with the Taurus Demon, but it makes total sense. They have wings, they can fly, they even fly during the fight. And also, this rooftop is way more spacious than Man-Eater's Bridge, so you don't really have to worry about falling off the edge. They are the first real tough challenge in Dark Souls, at least for many people, newcomers especially. That is because there are two of them. Until now, players only fought single opponent bosses, and even if they run in a group of enemies while exploring the Undead Burg and Parish, they could be easily separated and dealt with one by one, most of the time that is. But now there is limited arena and two bosses that are actively trying to kill you. You'll have to adapt your playstyle or you'll be in a big trouble. Thankfully they don't jump at you all at once. At the beginning of the boss fight there is only one gargoyle standing in the middle of the arena, just like with the Man-Eaters. But there, the second gargoyle joined the fight after a fixed amount of time. Here, the second one jumps off the tower when the first one's health drops under 50%. This is really good design. It gives the player the necessary time to learn the boss attack patterns, to learn how to dodge them first before the second one joins the party. But you change something, you lose something, right? Player has more time to learn attack patterns, which makes for a more accessible experience, but you also lose the urgency to defeat the first gargoyle as fast as possible. Man-Eaters put you under pressure. Time mattered. You had to be more aggressive, faster. I don't say one design is better than the other, I'm just pointing out the differences and how they influence the experience, which honestly is the whole point of this series. What about their moveset? Well, they each have long halberds that can easily reach you even at a significant distance. They can fly up, obviously, and slam you to the ground, to the roof I mean, but they aren't just the same enemy, which is another design decision that differentiates them from the Man-Eaters. The first one, besides the halberd, has also a long shield with which it can block some of your attacks, and a great axe at the end of his freaking tail. So hugging this boss butt is now punished, but not necessarily, because this is also the time when the player is introduced to the cutting tails mechanic. Some bosses and enemies in Dark Souls 1 can have their tails chopped off. Almost always it rewards the player with some unique weapon or an item. Other than that, it prevents an enemy from performing any tail attack, so you can once again hack their bottoms. The only enemy in Demon's Souls that had severable tail was, or were, Man-Eaters. What a surprise, huh? The second gargoyle has his tail already cut off. He also somehow lost his shield. But what he brings to the table is fire, a lot of fire. While the first gargoyle is a close-ranged enemy, he tries as hard as he can to close that gap between you. The second one is more of a mid-ranged enemy. His fire breath can reach you from a few meters, and when he flies up and breathes from above, it covers large arena too. So they complement each other, as every boss duo should. This is the design philosophy that many other great FromSoft's duo bosses share. And when they don't, they are usually not that great. But you'll learn all about that in future episodes. When both gargoyles are dead, they drop 10,000 souls. One twin humanity, gargoyle's halberd, gargoyle tail axe, but only if you chop off their tail, and you also have a random chance to get gargoyle shield and gargoyle helm. Yeah, Dark Souls 1 had a lot of lag-based drops from the bosses. When it comes to the tips, if you have some gold pine resin left from the Taurus demon fight, use it. Try to finish off the first gargoyle before second one jumps off the tower. Yes, it can be done. Cut the tail. It will make boss set of attacks smaller, which is almost always a good thing. If you're having a big troubles fighting against this duo, as many newcomers have, you can summon Soler and Lautrec to help you, provided you aren't hollow. They are pretty strong and can often finish off both opponents without players' help. And you can also cheese this boss. You can break the first Gargoyles AI if you perform a specific set of actions. You need to lure some added soldier. Then, standing right next to the fog wall, parry his attack and riposte it with your fist. If you do it correctly, you will, for a brief moment, go through the fog wall and activate the boss fight. Then, when the riposte animation is finished, just go back to the bonfire, sit at it and return to the fog wall. The Gargoyle AI will now be frozen, giving you an easy kill. Unfortunately, this doesn't work on a second Gargoyle, but like he only has 50% HP left, so it shouldn't be that hard to deal with him. Thanks for watching, to the next time.